I'm doing this because I believe it's what's right for this country. It's time for a change.
Sure hope you're right, Mr. President.
Of course he is. He's the president, and that's so means something.
5 minutes, we move.
You ready to walk, Mr. President?
There's a devil in the dirt with his garden underground. Be careful how you flirt, 'cause it's bound to bring you down, bring you down.
Good morning. First and foremost, I want to thank the dedicated men and women who have stood strong in service to this country. Most people would have been terrified to take on such an office in such a time, but not my team. I am truly honored and humbled to have served alongside such brave and courageous individuals on this journey that has sadly come to an end. I, along with you, look forward to the moment where we can look up and we can declare we did it.
Sis, come here.
And see, things are never really what they seem. Feel your poison flowing over me. On and on and on and on.
Hey everybody.
Matt's daddy has been oblivious again and didn't even see the news.
It is not a sad end, however, but rather a chance to build a new and stronger form of government. Change is never easy and it's never comfortable. Change is, however, inevitable and often necessary. This country has seen good times, tough times, triumphant times, and we as a result have become not one but many. While this may be my final statement as your humble leader, I will always be there.
I'm not afraid. You pull me in. Can't turn away. I'm not ashamed. It's how we feel. Can't turn away. This is the best mistake we'll ever make.
We as Americans will make it work. I can only imagine the fear and uncertainty that is swirling around in each and every one of you this day. No matter what your response is to the new structure, you have experienced the unrest, divisiveness, and political walls that have gone up in the recent years. What I ask of you today, my fellow Americans, is to put your faith in not only me and these 5 that will guide us through the next phase of our national rebirth.
Come on, Charcoal, there's other stuff that you can eat around here other than this.
But also to have faith in yourselves. For we Americans need to stand united. And I, along with you, look forward to the moment in history where we can triumphantly declare we did it. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Vodka tonic for table 12. Oh, again.
How about one for you?
This is mine, right? What's up?
Not much.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
Is this for me or the customer?
You.
I love you.
What can I get for you? Well, we're gonna have 2 grande half-calf caps with soy milk.
I'm sorry, but we only have regular or decaf.
Regular then.
Okay, 2 regulars. Can I get you menus?
No, just the coffee for the day.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm certain she's the one that my husband's talking to. I'm positive of it. I saw her face on social media.
I didn't want to say nothing.
Well, you don't have to say it. I already know. I've been known who's been sleeping with someone for months now. I'm sure it's her. I wonder what time she gets off work.
It's too late, you can't stop now.
Hey, Mom. I'm so sorry I'm late. This guy spilled coffee on me again.
Yeah, well, that's a good excuse
No,
to change that outfit. What are you wearing?
Are you serious? I'm 24 years old.
I know, but no wonder your problems are. I mean, I'm sorry, but, you know, all right.
Well, whatever. Mom, I don't... Oh, do you need anything?
I need everything. I mean...
Okay, well, can I get it after I go out with Ryan? They have the lottery drawing tonight for the president.
Okay, you know, you're gonna have to explain that to me in more detail because I don't really understand. Is it a serious thing?
Well, I don't know. Is the government a serious thing? I guess, but Ryan put my name in and...
You just said you're 24 years old, so now you're running the government?
Well, I probably not. That's not exactly my luck, but whatever, Mom. I can't do this. Can you just text me a list of what you need?
Yeah.
I really gotta go. Ryan's waiting.
Okay, you know what? If you're gonna run the government, you need to slow down. One thing at a time.
Mom, yeah, okay, I get it. I'm an adult, though. I got this, okay? I love you. I love you. Bye, okay?
Suppose it wasn't. And by the way, you forgot your stuff. Okay, all right, my daughter then. Running up the government, that's very interesting. She thinks she hates her job now. Oh my God, she tries that job. I do love her though.
Well, howdy. I wasn't expecting you till this afternoon, Jordan.
Actually, it's Jamal.
My apologies.
I know it start the same, sound the same, but
What's your last name?
Jenkins. Yeah.
Well, I don't see that you've got an appointment, but I've got some time right now. I was just getting ready to sit down and eat. If you don't mind if I eat while we talk, do you?
Nah, go ahead, man. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay, well, you know I love my wife, but she never puts the right mayonnaise on the sandwich, so I always stop down at the corner deli and get me one. And I usually give the one that she fixed me to the homeless guy down there on 8th. So.
Hey, you got 2. Let me get one.
Sure.
Yeah, good looking out.
Appreciate it, Candid Man. I got some chips here too if you want some.
Yeah, let me get some chips too. Yeah.
Oh, well, getting back to it, what can I do for you this fine day?
Well, my dad was in the military and he got killed over in Afghanistan, and kind of feel like I need to follow in his footsteps, so that's why I'm in here.
So what would you be looking to do?
Man, I don't know. That's why I'm here with you. You're supposed to tell me.
Well,
that's your job.
Well, you came to the right place, and I am sorry about your father. What exactly did he do?
I don't know, man. He like enlisted as soon as he got out of high school. Went over there, did a couple of years, and that's kind of what happened. You know, that's why I'm in here.
So you going to school?
Yeah, I'm in Easley High School right now.
Easley High.
What you doing? What's all that?
Just calm down, relax. I'm just pulling up your transcript.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of
I see you got an athletic scholarship.
Yeah, I do.
Lacrosse, and that looks good to have on a resume.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
Well, I tell you what, I think you should accept the scholarship and then come back and see me in a few years.
Man, you know how much bus tokens cost to come down here to talk to you?
I've got some bus tokens. But do me a favor, take the scholarship and come back and see me in a few years.
Take the scholarship, see me in a few years.
This day, the most important day in recent history, will change us as people and together as a nation. The work put forth by our previous administrations have failed. As citizens of this great country, we must pick up where we left off. Change is never easy and it's never comfortable. However, it is inevitable and also necessary.
Hey guys.
Hey, can you give me a ride? Can I ride with you?
Yeah, sure.
All right, bro, I'm out of here.
You're just gonna leave me all by myself to put everything up.
So, I had the best breakfast burrito today, like full with everything in it. It was good.
Haha, I know what you're doing and I'd like you to please stop.
If you know what I'm doing, then you gotta be willing to like help me out and, you know, do something about it.
Please stop bothering me about this. Like, my gosh.
I mean, you understand that I'm worried about you, right? Like, I'm not just trying to bash you and like intentionally hurt your feelings.
I know, and I know you think you're helping, and I know you're trying to help, but like, you're not. You're not helping. Please stop.
Okay. All right, okay. I just wanted to just kind of put my 2 cents in on it, but you gotta really be careful, you know. I know who I sound like, but...
The events and decisions of the past few months have not been taken easy. However, I assure you that all that's transpired has been handled with the most careful and thorough considerations.
Hey Tyler, what you watching? The president thing? Oh. Hey Todd, I know you're gonna be busy at the convention and everything, so I'm gonna get together with Liz and watch the lottery results. Is that cool?
What are you talking about?
You know, the citizen government thing that I signed up for last year at the charity event? You know, they had a table and Liz was like, sign up, and I did, and they took my information and everything.
Have you seen my jacket, my leather jacket?
The brown one? It's on the chair downstairs.
I looked on the chair downstairs and I always put it right there. And you always move it.
It's always on the chair.
It's not on the chair downstairs. It is. It's not there. And maybe did you leave it at the cleaners or... I am gonna need...
Hello? Hey. Yeah, I'll be there. Sure, we're just packing. Hey, are you taking this shirt?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Hey, just a second, babe. Okay, you're all set here.
Okay.
I'll find it.
It's
All right, yeah.
nowhere.
Hey, you see Dad's jacket? Okay, all right, listen. We'll look downstairs when we're heading out, okay?
If I don't have that jacket...
Okay, yeah, I'll be there 6:15. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Can you hold on for a minute? All right.
Okay, that is it. I have to go.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep that.
Yeah. Just find it, please.
Okay.
Okay, see you later, Mike. Alright, I gotta go.
See you, Dad. Bring me back something cool.
Okay.
Bye. Call me when you get there. Yeah, he's gone. No, he didn't say I love you. He never does. He's just busy with his music. Yeah. All right, I've got the wine chilling. Are you bringing Jess over for Tyler? Okay. 6:15? Okay, I'll see you there. Bye.
In just a few weeks, we will be introduced to our first ever presidential lottery winners. These 5 citizens are qualified and determined to serve this country with pride and compassion. We have gone through the painstaking process of ensuring that each of these 5, on whom we have placed our future, have what it takes to be exactly what our country needs right now. The lottery drawing will be held on November the 5th, Election Day, and the inauguration held shortly thereafter. My vice president and yours will remain in office for a period of 2 years to ensure the transition runs smoothly and to provide guidance for the new leaders. I know there will be dissension, but please remember that this decision to make this change was made with the best interests of our nation and our world in mind. What one could not do, we know these 5 men and women can.
Dan. Morgan, good to see you.
You as well. Funny running into you. I guess this
Always
is
a
the
pleasure.
night that the ladies is taking the men out for a much-needed night on the town.
Looks that way.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
I'm sorry.
It's so nice to meet a real Southern gentleman. And I'm sure you know my daughter.
Ladies, would you be kind enough to give us a minute?
Of course, we can take a hand. Plus, we're going to have some fun. A lot more fun than we would with you guys.
I'm glad I ran into you.
I heard that you were in the market.
I would have called myself, but I heard you were working the East Coast.
Yes, I took a temporary leave just to handle my father's arrangements.
Oh, yeah, I heard. My condolences. Your father? Great man.
Yes, sir, he was, and I thank you kindly. Now, about that job.
No loose ends.
Let's go join the ladies. Jamal,
Yeah, I'm here.
I need your brother.
You know what you're asking me, right?
Yes, I do.
I don't think you understand what you're asking me. I didn't get into this for that.
It's for the best of the country. Don't you want to help your country?
Yes, I want to help my country like anybody, but this isn't saying like...
It's what must be done to ensure the new order of government.
Listen, I understand that, and I am all about that.
Jamal, I've got to have it.
But listen, I'm just...
Get your brother. I need him.
Okay.
Get him now.
All right. Fine. I'll get him. There's something going on with Candace, and they said they want to get rid of her.
Good, she sucks anyway.
No joke, like, get rid of her, get rid of her.
Wait, what? Why?
Because, according to Morgan, she's one of us. And, like, with that being said, they want to get rid of her,
No. That's not a thing at all. Like, what? I know I heard about that thing with Lawrence, but, like, whatever, who cares?
Look, I really don't have time to explain it and go all into it, but all I'm telling you is that they want to get rid of her. Yeah.
But what does that have to do with either of us?
They're talking about having my brother do it.
What?
Yeah, that's what it's got to do with us.
Oh my god. Okay. Want some ice cream?
No, just do what you do. You're great at throwing people off, so I need you to do that. Just throw them off, confuse the plane. Just
What do you want me to do?
Buy me some time. Let me figure this thing out.
So you want me to thwart a presidential assassination?
You know Marcus gonna get mixed up in this type of stuff. Just do something.
Fine. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Still, ice cream?
No.
Oh no. Tell me that you did not get caught.
We're not doing this, okay?
You know that Morgan is not all that he says he is, right? He's deeper in this than you think.
Morgan just called me.
This is not a joke, Raph, okay? This is serious.
I didn't have the choice, Madam President. Alimony, remember?
When does it go down?
Senate's back in session next week. I'll get it done.
You know what? I'm eating. Yeah, you do what you gotta do.
Damn right I will.
I gotta go. Okay?
You ready to do this? This guy means business.
Yes, sir. You know how we do.
There are certain things that we do not say. He's coming. I'm counting on you to do this. Don't let me down.
Morgan, nice to see you again.
You as well.
Who's your friend here?
Sir, meet Raphael Dubois.
Pleasure to meet you. Dubois, is it? Yes, sir. Your team speaks very highly of you.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure's all mine.
Yes, sir.
Here you are, dear.
Everything should be in order. Now, don't forget the future of this great nation depends on you delivering that speech. I'm going to trust you with exactly what it says there, word for word. You understand?
Yes, Mr. Barlow, exactly what's on the page.
Very good. What can I say? I guess I'm attached to my work.
What is it with you two? I'm not discussing this with you right now. Leave it alone.
Hey, what? Excuse me. How much more time do we have?
5 minutes.
That everyone, in 5 minutes, we make history.
I don't think I can do this.
Yes, you can, sweetheart. That's why we chose you to be spokesperson. You got this, okay?
2 minutes. We move.
It's time, sir.
This should be exciting.
They're not coming?
Not this time, Jamal. See you.
You're gonna be fine.
Move out.
Copy. We're moving. All right, follow me.
Good luck.
Is this all of it?
What they are, and it's a lonely world when you borrow big and steal. When my bill comes in, I try to make one final deal. I don't look back 'cause the devil is coming. I won't give up just to keep on running. Every time down, I was risking the last. Gripping the wheel, foot on the gas. Don't look back 'cause the fire's are rising. No redemption, baby, and there's no denying. We live so fast, now we're dying so young. No regrets, honey, 'cause they're being real.
Morgan, it's about time to sell the casket. I want to offer my condolences. I think Candace would have made a wonderful president.
Oh, I think she would as well.
Would you like a moment alone?
That would be wonderful, thank you.
Okay, well, I'll be outside if you need me, okay?
I appreciate that. Yes. Everything's taken care of. Oh, she looked wonderful.
Fuck my life, man. Enough is enough already. Holy shit. Ma'am, you should be inside. It's very dangerous out here, okay? We have a job to do tomorrow, a lot of responsibility. So if you will, please, so kindly, let me escort you back to your room.
You didn't see that, right? I mean, I'm not...
It is what it is.
Charlie, just wait. I mean, we haven't...
Look, I know Georgetown, right? How many times we've been there? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't keep going back to that. So if you will, please, ma'am, let me escort you to your room.
Was it really that bad? I don't remember it being that bad. I mean, God, just, you know what, just never mind, it's fine. I'm just trying to not get dismissed by yet another egomaniac.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? What's this now? Egomaniacs? Being dismissed by who? By what? Listen, I have a job to do. You have a job to do. I have a job to do.
Oh, is that what you tell all the other presidents? That's not what I heard.
Madam, please let me escort you to your room.
You know what? Fine. What?
You deserve better than him.
Really? Maybe I should have listened to you the first time, huh?
Have a good night, ma'am.
Thanks. You know, Charlie, I never forgot you.
I haven't forgotten you either. Have a good night. Sleep well.
Thanks, you too.
Man, this shit ain't in the manual. Fuck a cigarette. I need a fucking drink.
That was beautiful. Thanks. So, you ready? No. Well, you better be.
Oh my gosh. Why do you think I'm here?
Hey, I'm with you step by step, all the way. You got this.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
Good afternoon. My name is Lacey Powell, but you probably already know that. Last night, some guy gave me a speech to read. They told me to read exactly what was on the page.
What is she doing? The speech.
Probably not going to happen, Mr. Barlow.
It's the wrong speech.
I did, however, get a chance to meet the people who are also here. Some of them will be my best friends, and some of them I will probably hate. But that's life, right? That's completely life. Every part of life is about loving and hating and whatever you want to do, right? Isn't that the point? So, you know what, Mr. Barlow? I'm not going to read exactly what's on the page, okay? Because I don't need to. I'm the president.
End it now.
Define love. Can you define hate? Can you define all emotions in between? Can you define war? Can you define peace? Can you define gravity? Your time and space? I could be all Wild justice will never be me. Bitterness waits while I let it be. When vengeance comes, there'll be no blame. The best revenge is winning the game. The best revenge, the best revenge, the best revenge. At every corner as my hard work turns to dust. Behind my back, concealed a liar, anger fighting to erupt. Now I'm gonna bide my time while I keep it inside. I'm gonna toe the line, then I'll sit back and take what's mine. Wild justice will never be me.
How we doing today?
Dude, you know, 4 years is a long time to work on one thing.
Let's jump right into the genesis of the show We5. Hopefully for those that just watched it on the release, you know, you guys enjoyed it, and this is the bonus content there. And also, if you guys have discovered us online with this interview through various platforms, we'll fire off at the end. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about the genesis of the show.
Oh my gosh. So, you know, We5 came out of the weirdest situation, right? Like this was, oh my gosh, so many years ago, right? When all of those candidates for president were standing on stage all at once, debating each other, hating each other, yelling at each other, all of this crazy stuff. And actually, Sean said to me, what if they could all be president all at once? And I looked at him and I said, that's a TV show. And that's how it was born. I from that point wrote that night a 19-page script. Having been out of the entertainment business for years. And there it was. It was right there in front of me and it's staring me in the face. And I don't know how I ended up actually making it a thing, but you know, it's like one of those things.
Well, that's how things come together, like lightning in a bottle, you know, and it's those that stick with an idea. I mean, we all have great ideas, you know, but it's, do we actually put them and bring them to fruition? Do we put them down on paper? Do they see the light of day? You know, whether it's a song or any form of art or just anything in general, getting your ass off the couch or out of bed to go to work every day is a struggle for people. You know, now more than ever with aliens flying around all over the universe.
You and the aliens.
But, you know, it's a great thing that you did it. You know, you saw something, you heard something there that sparked your interest and the interest of others, which we're going to talk about how the casting came together as well.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, for real though, I've worked in actual politics, which is, another reason why it kind of sparked that in me, because I actually know how campaigns run and how government stuff runs. And I have a lot of friends who work in the government. And, you know, I thought, you know, I could do this. I could do this uniquely and make it really interesting. And, you know, I think it was around the same time that like Designated Survivor kind of things were very popular, and I realized that there is something in this, and then I wrote, you know, that 19-page script and got torn apart for my formatting. And now all these years later, I'm the one criticizing people over formatting. But
well, the thing is too, you gotta go back to the origin of the whole thing. It's right before the country, you know, our real life country was starting to go batshit crazy and really go to hell. I don't want to bore people with my political views, but I think we could all stand united when we say we've seen better times. Let's just say that, you know. Let's keep that there.
That's a fair one. Yeah,
that's a fair one. That's a fair one. So, you know, everyone continue to like your boy Johnny Boy over here. I'm not going to give you my political angles on things, but this show is very interesting in the fact that everyone always says, if I could run this country, if I had $1 million, if, well, here you go. Here's the mess, the insanity, and the personalities that come along with it.
And I don't really talk about the political views per se of these people, because the beauty of We Five is that there are 5 random people. I mean, they could literally be anybody, and they can all have their own opinions, which makes it really interesting to see what happens in that, because you take all of these people and you put them in one White House. Gosh, the possibilities are endless.
Oh, they're great. And, you know, they're actual great possibilities that we see flesh out. You know, you got romance, you got a little bit of everything happen. I don't want to give much away.
Yeah, and I kind of gave everybody like their own cause in a weird way. Like one's a veteran, you know, one's like you know, hourly paid waitress, you know, like, so they all have these different kind of things, a single dad, you know, et cetera, that make them unique and have kind of a cause that they kind of want to fight for.
Yeah, and then you have corruption. You have, you know, there's depicting corruption in the way that, you know, is so slimy and so, you know, perfect for the roles. Again, you know.
Yes, thank you to the great Eric Roberts.
Excellent work there. And the whole thing is, we go back again, like you had mentioned, 4 years. Now, this thing probably would have had on a nice little ribbon all wrapped up and presented to us a long time ago. But COVID came and really screwed things up. You want to talk about how difficult that journey was, getting the ball rolling, then all of a sudden having to wear a mask and be completely shut down?
So COVID really threw a monkey wrench in my life in that one moment. I had already been doing this in a weirdly difficult way. I had found these people down in a state I had never been to. Like, I'd never been to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I find these people through other random people, all of whom like kind of came to me in that COVID situation because everybody was online. Right. And so like all of the people I suddenly knew were like people I didn't know. So I'm already in that situation. Then deciding to also film a TV show during that, while strike while the iron's hot, right? So the kicker there was that Eric Roberts was already in South Carolina too, by chance, filming Righteous Gemstones. So I kind of jumped up on that particular bandwagon, and then COVID kept going.
Well, it didn't stop.
Right? So like now I'm facing down the part where I have to travel to South Carolina, and B, so do other people. And C, what do I do then about this COVID thing? So everybody was like testing and blah, blah, blah. We were living all in one house, which by the way, like was a COVID precaution, but a nightmare at the same time. I mean, like there were adults. This house, okay, was in the middle of nowhere, first off. So we had to stand in the yard to get cell reception on one leg, under a wire, near a tree. Like it was special. And the house was set up. There was one private bedroom, one. And of course my kids were there too, and they were much, much younger then, but so, and then the upstairs had a bunch of beds like circled around. We actually filmed part of the show there. The Jesse scenes were filmed there, as were the Max scenes. And so these grown-ass adults are sharing this upstairs like attic area with my 2 kids. And Keaton and I were downstairs, and like it was the funniest thing. Like people were fighting over like food, like we were making community dinners. Like it was, in a weird way, it was kind of nice, but like we probably all really definitely were glad that that week was over when it was over.
Yeah, absolutely. But you grow closer with everyone like that under those conditions. I know that from band life. When you have to be shacked up with 5 dudes in a van, you definitely go through some challenges. You're gonna
And
learn
for
today.
yeah, right. And for all intents and purposes, this was the van life of Airbnbs for real. though.
You see things you never want to see.
Right. And I drove there. I drove to South Carolina from Pennsylvania with my kids in the car. I mean, they're freaking old now, right? But this was years ago. And the other way COVID really messed with me was the editing process. Like, and also because we only had that week because of Eric's schedule and COVID and all this other stuff, we didn't get everything filmed, right? And you know this perfectly well. Like we then filmed in these weird bunches, like after that for like a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By a point in time where we barely even knew what the hell we were filming anymore.
I don't even know if we remembered like what had happened before.
As it turned out, the footage was really good, and then there was just missing pieces to the puzzle. And
there was like the
were
script
right there.
actually, the script, the whole original script was not filmed. That I will say, because that really, I was again because of COVID not able to be at every shooting location every time, and thereby like there were changes made that I didn't even know about until after the fact, and so the original script was weirdly altered, and the original story was not filmed. I think that the takeaway there, of course, is that there's a very good story behind this for real. And I mean, what we accomplished, I think, in this was to introduce you to these characters, but not much more, even though, there should be more. It was a rough time.
Well, the thing is, I remember the footage and the puzzle pieces missing. Some of them were right in front of our face. That was the best part. It was like, wait a minute, if we just put that there or move this here, and the music coming together was really the key.
Don't you think we needed that space of those couple years?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, it makes it even more relevant today. I mean, yes, it is July 4th. This was not planned for us to have a little sit down and talk about this. It's kind of like random. Hey, what are you doing? Let's get the word out about this thing. 'Cause it's going to start creating buzz. I already got people asking me about it like crazy, and it's the right time. I think everything happens for a reason. It's the right time right now with, again, everything that's going on in the world. There are reflections. There are tones to that. We don't beat it down your throat. We don't beat it down your throat, which is great. It's more or less the way I looked at it as, yes, I am in the cast, but I looked at it, when I watched the footage that I did last night, as someone that was just watching it, as someone that wanted to be entertained and look for something of quality. And I found a great story there. And I really, really was able to separate myself from being a part of the production and was like, this is a damn good idea. The character development was there, like you said. It's interesting. You got this nice plot that almost is like, I'm not going to call it a subplot because I don't want to give too much away, but it really develops characters very well. And I think
that was a huge portion of what I worked to do. Like those characters became part of me. Yeah. I mean, and that's a reality. Like it's funny. I can tell you what any of them would do in any situation, and that's kind of funny how your brain sort of transforms in that way. Yeah. I think your character is interesting, and it could have been if we had filmed the whole script, would have been more interesting. I do think we laid out the baseline of those characters pretty solidly.
Yeah, baseline's there.
Yeah. And I mean, who doesn't know about a country in turmoil?
It works really good because it goes outside of itself a little bit and is not just internal to like this one thing. And that's what I think sparks interest. And it's not like ADD scatterbrain. It's kind of like plain and simple. The way it's set up is very cool. And I think the amount of time the pilot is excellent. And you definitely want more. And not to force feed it down people's throats. This was like something that just randomly stumbled upon me, to come in. And I was so thankful to do it and be a part of it. And now like see how like the weirdest little things worked really well, and it just came together, man. So everyone that was a part of it, I think you should be very proud of, and yourself, obviously.
Fortunately for both of us, and you really are largely to credit for that. I mean, you found a story in something that I had been very angry at for all of that time.
Yeah.
And I felt really was like a big embarrassment. And, you know, I didn't really take into account the fact that I was up against all of those challenges. And also I was just coming back into a game I hadn't played in years. And I think that's an important factor as well. Also, I had some people, you know, that were problems, but I think largely what we accomplished was we accomplished something, right? We accomplished introducing you to this concept, to this story, to these people, and also just saying, look, maybe there are other answers out there that you don't necessarily think about until you see a show or see a movie that suggests them.
And at the end of the day, not for nothing, guys, I gotta say it. And Eric Roberts is in this thing, man.
And Eric Roberts, right? And Eliza Roberts.
And Eliza, the wonderful Eliza.
And Keaton Simons. You know, I mean, you could be worse.
You know, it flows nice, and you know, it's one of those things where I do hope we get to go back to and you know, pick up the pieces, because there is a cliffhanger, people who haven't seen it, and I think it does set up the characters real nice to see some really interesting things, because I think that it sets the tone up for where it's going. It's bigger than what the story is. There's more than meets the eye, if you will.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that, you know, the conflict in this is you know, you can kind of taste it in a way. There's, you know, an angry, well, played by me, right? An angry girl who is like, oh, screw you, you know, like, I'm going to do what I want. And then there's, you know, this suit and tie Charlie, who's your character,
yeah,
who's like, oh my God, I have to control these assholes. Like, what? You know,
like on the worst day of his life, every day of his life.
Yeah, and it suddenly kind of became that way. Like, it's like, I guess, you know, the previous president was kind of struggling too, but like, yeah. Oh, and Paul Butler's in it. I mean, there's a bunch of people. So you want to talk about casting? Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, right. I mean, you got to look at it too. Like you said, states are a big thing. I came all the way out from Vegas. You know, I forget where I was the first time. Was Nashville. I think I was out there, and then obviously Carolina, and God knows where else.
We have had some, I think maybe the best thing about this show isn't one that you would necessarily know by watching it, right? I think the best thing that came out of this was the experience. We all became family, and like for real. And it just, and we've not left each other's lives. And I think that's important.
It was a lot of fun with the dance offs, the crazy drives.
Oh my gosh, the drive. Oh, and the closed fast food restaurant.
You want to talk alien country, man. That's where there was some shit going on out there, and I wasn't even high yet. And that was.
Yeah, I highly recommend that nobody drive from Nashville to Atlanta.
Very, very, very odd. There's some shit going on.
That was a weird drive. And not to mention the fact that we had known each other for easily, like, what, 2 or like a year and a half by that point?
Probably.
But we had never met.
We never met. And so it was the first time meeting you. And for those listening, Eliza, after I interviewed Eric, got in contact with me about, you know, interviewing Keaton and Ellie as well. And I said, yeah, that sounds great. You know, any friend of yours is a friend of mine. And, you know, I hit it off with everyone immediately. And it's funny because that was around the time when this thing was like, this is kind of COVID, but like we didn't really know how much it was going to be backed up, you know, because I think the first time I actually spoke to Eric and Eliza through an interview was during COVID the first time. So, yeah, it was probably right around the time you guys were starting to film, and, you know, Keaton was in it, obviously, and everyone was all in, and then it was all over the place. And then you asked me to come out. Eliza was like, you want to go be in this thing? I was like, I don't know how to act.
Come on. I mean, but we started filming in, oh my gosh, 2020.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a long journey, but I think you're right about the timeliness of it, because then was an election season. And I've always said, you know, this has one place, right? This has one shot, and it is during that time. And here we are those years later, again, in the right spot. So I think it worked out. The timing of it worked out. I think a lot of the a lot of the dynamics of it were complicated. But for lack of a better or less appropriate explanation.
You know what's funny? I have my thing open right now in my window, and it says Chalut still from when I was using it for some reading we were doing when I was in character.
That's right. No, I joined a Zoom meeting the other day, and my thing still said Lacey.
Did you ever have a friend that was able to like hack your shit, and you're on like a Zoom meeting with your pals, and like one of them turned like my shit into something really bad? You know, I don't want to even say on my own air. But since I'm off to random thoughts, and we'll get back to the show real quick. I'm sitting here smoking a vape. How come this is relevant to arts and entertainment? How come no one ever uses the vape in movies? I'm gonna tell you why. Because it doesn't look as cool as a cigarette.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the effect.
Say we're acting, and I'm like this for those people who've seen on video. Well, you know what? I've had enough of you.
Yeah, no.
And you're bullshit.
No. You would not get that part. I'm just saying. No way.
Vaping, you can't. It's not the same. It's not the same. That's why you don't see people do it like in bars like this, all looking like. Remember when people were cool, smoking cigarettes and shit? But now you can't. You can't smoke on planet Earth anymore.
But I do want to comment on one really, really important thing about all of this, and I think that it centers around the fact that I would not be where I am right now in my life. I mean, I'm the COO of a casting and entertainment services company in New York City. I have kids. My kids who were in the show both go to the High Valley Charter School for the Performing Arts. My daughter is going to be a freshman there this upcoming year for theater, which she had never done anything acting related before the show, but that inspired her. In fact, she wrote her admissions essay about that experience. And I have my almost 15-year-old son upstairs right now recording a drum track for a song I did. So I mean, I think that this worked out largely for the best in the most existential of ways also.
Absolutely. And speaking of your company that you're working for, you want to talk a little bit to listeners about that?
Sure. Yes. Acthound Casting. And also we have an app coming out in the fall. And additionally to that, we're offering classes. It started as an educational resource for actors and models. We've expanded to now, include casting modules. And additionally, we're going to be announcing a big deal development where we're doing scripts and agent services. So all of the things that you can get from like the breakdown stuff on Actors Access, you'll be able to get through our services as well.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And when can viewers and listeners start to follow any kind of like .coms you have, any where they could download?
Oh yeah, acttown.com is up and running. In fact, last night my class postings for my workshops, which is called Unlock Your Spotlight. It's about claiming your space as an actor in the business, which is complicated. And I teach this class. It's about an hour and a half long. We have multiple dates. We're running a special right now, but that's not important in the future because nobody's going to care like 6 years from now. So that being said, but yeah, it's great. I am so in love with my life, and I really have it all I owe it all to B5 and Eliza, but like mostly I got her kind of through that too.
Yeah, it's a great thing how everyone connected, and a lot of us still remain very, very close and very, very fortunate for the friendships we have. That's what art and entertainment is. It's connecting people, individuals, synergy, bringing people together. That's why I love doing interviews. That's why I love doing music. That's why I love, doing acting. That's why I love all the stuff that involves creativity. You got to love yourself and love life to be able to do it, to be honest with you. You would come from some very dark places and create wonderful art and wonderful things. And I do believe people need to be cut from that cloth of reality. But at the same time, once you get past those demons, you can turn them into great things. They don't necessarily have to be demons. They could just be things that, you're sweating, and then you could write something that has nothing to do with what you're sweating about, but it's a creative release and out form.
But it is a creative release, and we watched each other grow up too. I mean, look at Brandon. Brandon's now like a touring comedian. You know, like
Fucking nuts. What happened there?
Yeah.
I was looking at him on Facebook the other day. I'm like, what the fuck?
So right, I mean, but like we grew up
when I met him. No offense, like he was.
Yeah, I know.
But, like, now I'm an old man, so I can say that I'm 45. But Jesus, man,
I understand all of it. Yeah, right. All of it, everybody, but everybody grew into who they are through this show, and I think that's so important to remember. I mean, no matter how ridiculously painful the process was, because it was.
So it wasn't hard filming. It was hard getting around. It was hard just being able to just get everyone. Not that there was anyone that was hard to work with, just because of time and restrictions, because we had to keep resetting when we were going to shoot and resetting a special thing. It was just really hard to get everyone in the same room. It really was.
It was an experience, and also right. We were talking about people who are all over the country.
All the time,
all living in different time zones, all living different lives.
Time zones.
Yeah, and as we're all growing in our own way in our professions, right? So here we are, then making things more complicated by expanding our own individual like lives in that way, while also trying to complete this thing, and nobody's ever satisfied with it because we all knew what it could be, and. But then I think there came a point, and Jason Shirley is somebody I have to thank for that, right? Because he was my mentor. Now he admits that he is now one of my very best friends, right?
Good.
But he tried to quote unquote save We5 at the very beginning of all of this, and I think he meant it, and he really wanted to do that. But I don't think that it was right in that moment. Like I think. We needed to sort of get that reflective view of the process and kind of learn everything. Oh my gosh, we learned so much.
I like the behind the scenes shit like a lot. I like seeing.
But you did rock it. You rocked Charlie. I gotta give you that. I mean, aside from the slip thing with the face, but like,
God.
Hey, everybody's got to get cut once. All right.
You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, it's fun. I just always found like how directors do things and stunt choreographers, and like I like shit like that. I want to get, if you guys ever want to cast me in a role where someone gets their ass kicked, I'm your guy. Throw me in there. Let me do it.
I feel like Charlie was kicking his own ass in this, but
well, I see him as a fighter. I see him as a fighter.
Yeah, I know. He had a lot of like one thing after another.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not in a good way right now. If we get to see him in episode number 2, he's going to be.
I believe that we should tell this story. I mean, it is such a good story, and these are such good characters. But we had to make it make sense for now. Like, so we introduced them, and I think that that's of value too.
I agree. Anything else you want to share with the audience?
Oh Lord, I mean, don't make a television pilot in a pandemic, and also. Or maybe do, because I was a very different person before I did this, and much to my surprise, I really grew into my own individuality, and it kind of formed me in the best way. And I think that that's because I was screaming at people in Dollar General parking lots. And I'm watching people argue over this table that in my mind gets longer every time I tell the story. And people are eating things in bathrooms, and there's just weird things happening, right? All around me, none of which I can control. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I find myself in a place where I recognize exactly what I need to recognize when I need to recognize it because of that struggle. So maybe do make a show in a pandemic. Maybe we won't have a pandemic, but like, let's hope. But
yeah,
do the hard thing.
Yeah, setbacks pave ways for comebacks, and another thing is too, like great art could come through adversity, becomes yours. It's a labor of love. You have to struggle and fight for it. That's why I love boxing so much. Everyone's like, "Yo, man, what's with you in this combat sports shit? Your obsession." I like the stories. I like what it takes to be a fighter. I like, and it doesn't have to be physically with someone. It could be something spiritually. It could be something that you want to, goals you want to achieve in life. Everything is a fight. You know, you don't have to be aggressive to be a fighter. And we fought through in our own way. You fought through, we 5, getting what it is you need to get done.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears.
That's fighting, man.
Yeah, it was
that's
just
how you get it done. So
we did get
good. That makes you experience. That makes you savvy. Gives you wisdom.
It does. But I still have one more thing to say. I genuinely dedicate this to these people who stood by me all of this time, and obviously Sean, who said the crazy thing that inspired it. But he was also the executive producer, so there's that. But John, you and Brandon and all of these people that I love so dearly, and I wouldn't have Eliza, Eric, all of you just matter so much in my life, and I am so appreciative of that. And so this is really for all of you.
And I'll add to that, and I'm appreciative of you as well. I'm appreciative to everyone that was a part of this. Eliza and Eric for the friendship, number one, and the friendship that, you know, they provided for us with the introduction.
Right.
Because we wouldn't even know each other if it wasn't for them.
If it weren't for them, I know.
Yep. And then the crazy idea that you guys had of me coming out and doing this, and me kind of being crazy enough to have the balls to say, hey, why not? I thought we were abducted by aliens at that time anyway.
Mm-hmm. And didn't you win that dance off, or I don't even.
Oh, I
remember.
won the dance off, and I also won the bet that the aliens are coming too. See, I got two in one take. Look at that.
You're so funny. I love you so much. But it's just a family. It's
exactly right, and it's so wonderful to be a part of it and pull things out. I didn't even know were in me. It was great, you know. And I appreciate you guys, and definitely. Where can we follow you on social media?
I'm at Triple Threat Ellie. That's on Instagram, and LJ Connard on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter, but I don't remember my handle ever because I never go on Twitter. But yeah.
I always hate when I get interviewed. They're like, "What's your handle?" I'm like,
right.
They're like, "Dude, you don't know your own Twitter?" I'm like, fuck. It's like the password anxiety I get, dude. Like when I try to log into something, if I'm logged out, the chaos breaks loose.
Try working at a casting company. Like they were like, what are all of your social media? I'm like, I have to research this. So I did that. But also on acttime.com, you can obviously find me there. There's even an Ask Ellie feature. So yeah, check it out.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, guys. Stay tuned for the show. We'll have dates soon. Keep following all their social media information.